In this week's episode of Triple T,
Steve.
You can see that's my wiener, Steve.
Plus 3D. Not sure about that one.
They tried.
They did try, but should they have tried?
It's a cash grab.
Michael Jackson did his Billie Jean performance on TV on the special Motown 25 yesterday to get, and know what he did, Goot? He did the moonwalk.
Nice.
1983.
Change everyone's lives.
You aren't kidding. Have you ever tried to moonwalk?
No, I can't do that.
Did you ever try, though?
No.
Ever? You never in your life have you tried to moonwalk? Holy shit.
I didn't give a flying F, but I was like, it's not for me.
Pain it is, yes.
Pain.
There was lots of pain. We're jacked up on pain, unfortunately. Burley is pretty hurting, so you're not going to see him this week. Sorry for you not being able to see him, but he's going to do a speedy recovery. He was in a little bit of a fender bender, I guess, from there. So speedy recovery, Burley. We've been chatting with you. He's sore. You might not remember our conversations, but we will.
Not in person.
No. But either way, the voice you're hearing, it's me. It's Matt, it's Beard Laws. And joining me as always is Goo. What's up, brother?
It's good to be back, brothers.
It is.
Missing last week was weird, so it was like, man, something's missing in my life.
But it was a good weird. It was a good thing to have. You got to spend some time with family and friends, wasn't it? Family and friends on a lake and stuff.
Yeah, I was down at a lake house down in Pencha in like Central Virginia, off Leesville Lake. It was magical.
That's awesome. Like you kind of mentioned, it felt so good to disconnect, even if it was for a day or two. Yep. I was recently talking to the guy that we're doing Severance Mountain with. Go check out Severance Mountain. Follow him on the YouTube. It's a movie that's coming out September 13th, Friday the 13th. Please go check it out. It's all over the place. Severance Mountain. I'll put some links in there. I was talking to the director, Ethan, and he kind of did the same thing. He's like, yeah, we're going to do a little camping, disconnect. And he is a busy man got off a quick little East Coast tour with the band Freya that he's in. And he is a busy dude, tattoo artist and everything like that. So he's a legendary man because his tattoo shop's legendary tattoo. But either way, hopefully he's getting some much needed time with a family and stuff. And schools are coming back and, it's starting to ramp back up with the busy life for like you guys must be getting back to school here pretty soon.
August 19th, just around the corner.
Same day as Eubin's kids. We go back after, by we, I mean, the family, the wife works in the school stuff. They go back after Labor Day.
Jeez.
They didn't get done. Yeah, they didn't get done school till the end of June though. So
that's not enough.
That's doesn't seem like enough, but that's how it works. Same amount of days. I think they go to school 180 days. I feel like you guys are right around the same.
I guess.
Maybe it's
the problem is we don't have many snow days as you guys, I imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I think they technically get 5, but they still, you know what I mean? So it's right around 180 days. I don't know how it works out. I don't work in a school, so thankfully I couldn't do it. But we're about to school you in a bunch of stuff because we are traveling back to a year. And that reminds me, I forgot to upload the video, so I'm going to do that while we're on the fly.
Bazinga.
Let's talk about some friends of the show. You recently made a purchase that you're going to be rocking something a little bit because the weather is changing. School's coming back. Football's coming back, which means the weather is unfortunately going to change. I think my weather changed drastically faster than your weather. Not that it's a competition or anything, but yeah. What'd you get?
Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm still up in the mountains. So, I mean, this morning I bought the off VermontFlannel.com. I used the code BeerLoss24. Bought a hoodie for my wife. I got the lightweight flannel for me and got a hoodie as well. I'm colors you excited. Go with? I got the Tropic for my wife. She wanted that one. And then
that's a good one.
So that's her hoodie. For my hoodie, I got the black and checkered one, the white and black checkered.
Yep. And then, that's a solid one.
And then because they didn't have the Tropic in my size, so I'm like, I'll just go with something different. Yep. And then the lightweight flannel is the yellow and blue one, the summertime one.
Yep, that was the one with the brewery, the Pine Brewery or whatever collab, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep, I got that one. That's the one. Did you go short or long?
Long sleeve. I'm not big on short sleeve. I mean, I know I can show my guns off, but I was like, nah, long sleeve.
Yeah. See, I don't really have the guns to show off, but no. Yeah, I'm a long sleeve flannel guy too. You know, I don't know. It's just something about it. I got a buddy. He rocks the short sleeve ones to work all the time. That's his style. And that's more Al Borland-ish, wasn't it? No, yeah. But big fans of, obviously you'll see it. As the weather changes, like I said, the studio, at least where I am, super warm today. I didn't throw on the flannel. To be honest with you, I just got done recording another one. I jumped in, swapped hats, changed shirts, jumped in. I'm gonna start putting them in the. I'm gonna leave a couple in the studio instead of the closet. But either way, yeah, check them out. VermontFlannel.com. You can be as cool as me and Goot. Disclaimer though, the guns are not included with the flannels. You do have to work your own off like him. And I mean, I saw it. You were wearing that Wolverine mask in your picture, flaunting the guns. We actually talked about how to stay out of the fridge, me and Euban, and we were just like, God damn, he's jacked.
Yeah.
Euban's like, someday I'm gonna be that jacked. I just lost 27 pounds.
But he's feeling better, right?
Yeah, he's feeling better. Yeah. Good. He's not quite there, but definitely a little bit better. And yeah, I mean, this comes out on Tuesday. You guys want to see Euban back on camera? Check it out. He's going to be there Thursday on Stay Out of My Fridge, and then probably going to be back. And Burley for the Body Wrong podcast. Check it out Friday, right here in Beard Laws Studio. And we got a new friend of the show here for the month of August, rolling into August. I know that this comes out on the 30th of September. Or July. So I almost said September. Holy shit. Got the movie on my brain.
Stop time traveling.
Oh. But make sure you guys check out Brio for Life. They do a little bit of, they got trimmers. They got some bundle deals, grooming tools, accessories. They even have toothbrush. You should be brushing your teeth. And if you need a new one, check it out, brioforlife.com. You guys can use the code, guess what? Beard Laws. You guys can save some money. They got some good stuff. Right on the main page, they got a nose hair trimmer. Mine actually just died, so it's good timing. When I get that in, I'll let you know. You're looking to rock the bald-headed life. They got a Raise head shaver, only $68.95, almost $69, giggity. But like I said, I've been a friend of Brio for a hot minute. I got the blackout one here, the Beardscape. It's a pretty cool one. And then I even, if you throw it back here to the Beardscape version 2, they're on some new ones. Got this one as well. Obviously, I don't overly trim my beard. Goot, he's got that well-groomed business beard. And like I said, he's jacked. He probably shaves his body. I don't see the chest hair flowing up there. I don't. I rock it. But like I said, I'm thinking about shaving the head. I'm going back to the bald life. Somebody made a comment about how bald I am when I take my hat off. Oof. It really hit home. So
that hurts, man. Yeah, because my best friend, before I shaved everything off, it was during COVID. I just let it fucking grow.
Yep.
And I went. It was a random vision. It was just that we haven't seen each other forever. So I took my hat off. He was like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Oh, it fucking hurt." I'm like, "Shit." Next day, I just shaved that shit off. I'm like,
"Yeah,
this is it."
I got the random dome that just doesn't go up here, and I'm like, "Son of a bitch." So no, I'm debating, but if I do, I'm definitely going to get myself the. I like the one that they have. It's the Bald Bundle Plus, so you get a little bit of everything. It'll throw in the Beardscape, so you can do the body hair, the head, and all that stuff. But nose hair trimmer and the bald razor is for me. They got a travel bundle, which is nice. A lot of people on the road, $25.97. You can check it out. Nice. Again, that's brioforlife.com. Should be links in the description. Check it out. I'm ready. Yeah. 1983 is a banger, and I do feel bad that Burley is banged up because there's a lot of good music that we're going to talk about. A lot of good movies, a lot of good stuff. And speaking of good, person that sent this in, he's doing a lot of good in the world, a lot of good, and I'm a huge friend of him. But before we do this, and why obviously we picked 1983, we need some people to submit some videos. So if you're listening to this, you want to submit a video, I don't care if you're a podcaster, I don't care if you're a plumber, I don't care if you are sweeping floors at a McDonald's. Send us a video, matt@beardlaws.com, or slide into those DMs. We just need a 10, 15, 20-second video. You just say, hey, I picked this year, and this is why. It could be like, I've noticed a lot of people are just picking the year that they were born.
I know.
So eventually we get in a lot of 80s because that's about the same mutuals as us.
I think we're all done with the 80s after this year, right?
We're running low on the 80s.
Yeah.
We're running low. We did just have a video of 1988. We're gonna fix that one in here a little bit, but let's jump around a little bit more. Anywhere from the 30s to 2023, you can pick a year. So let's do the thing. Let's we've had some good ones. Go back and listen to we've had a couple 60s, 50s, 40s. I think a 30,
1932,
80s, 32, baby. That one was rough.
And 69.
Doom Network really likes to go back in time. Right? So hey, all right. Let's go ahead. We're going to play the video from our friend Robert and why we picked 1983.
Hey, it's Robert here. Robert Wyatt 13 on Instagram, coming to you live on Beard Laws channels. We're going to talk about the year you were born, 1983. Fun fact, did you know 1983, the first washing machine was invented? No, that's not true at all, but here's some stuff that is true. Let's get into it.
God, I love that, man.
That's hot.
Right? I love it. Did you know the washing machine was invented here? Gotcha. But
Nope.
We are going to tell you what was invented. What was music, movies, everything. I know Burley's not here to fire it up, so hopefully we're going to be able to, ramp this up a little bit. So Goot, I'm just
going. It's
flowing.
No.
Oh, shit. I think we're ready. Holy shit. 1983. That was a pretty quick trip, especially compared to the 50s, and we did it. 83 was pretty wild. Not only obviously the movies, the music, but there was a lot of sports that were played. Let's go with the sports in case there's any sports fans. We'll run through this here pretty quick because I know Goot is pretty happy with how football went as a champion of the NFL. It was the Washington Redskins when they were still known as the Redskins. Rest in peace. They defeated the Miami Dolphins 27-17 in Super Bowl XV11. Figure that one out if you can't do Roman numerals. We'll break it down for you next week. Come back. That was on January 30th, 1983. Baseball, everything cycles, whether it's fashion, music, and even sports. The Baltimore Orioles won the World Series, beating the Phillies. A lot of beating the Phillies lately. Will that happen again this year? It potentially could. The Orioles in 2024, spoiler alert, are pretty good, and so are the Phillies. That would be an interesting
Was Cal
World
Ripken
Series.
by that team?
In 83?
I think he was. That must have been his rookie year. Ooh.
Let's check it out. Cal Ripken years played. He played
was
81. Yep, 81 to 2001. The Iron Man. Hell yeah! Congrats, Cal Ripken. Win yourself a World Series. Hopefully, the young studs of the Orioles. If it was to happen, I'm rooting Baltimore all day over that goddamn Philadelphia. And then you got the NBA. Philadelphia 76ers. They defeat the Lakers, sweep them 4-0 in 83. New York Islanders, they win the Stanley Cup. They beat the Edmonton Oilers in 4 games. Edmonton, they had it pretty rough again this year. Made an epic comeback in 2024 and just fell short to floor dust. Speaking of Florida, college football champions, the Miami Hurricanes. They beat the Nebraska Cornhuskers in one of the most epic games, 31-30 in the Orange Bowl, January 2nd. And
back when they were relevant.
Yeah, the other one was Brandon J. McDermott, big Nebraska fan. He's hoping they make a comeback.
They're trying to. They got the right system in place, I think, now.
Yep. And, let's just be honest. It's going to be tough to beat Oregon coming up because they have unlimited money with NIL. It's all about that money in college football now. But they're going to expand it. So it's just not one game that determines in the AP poll like there was in the 80s. Now there's going to be an expanded playoffs.
Crazy.
To see who your college champ is. I'm excited for that. This is the year that I get back into college football, I think. Don't have a team, but I'm just going to be a fan of it. I've always been like a college basketball North Carolina fan.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of not secretly, but I've always kind of put like, hey, I hope Carolina does all right. Living close to Syracuse, growing up in there, I always hope the Orange are fairly decent, knowing that neither of those teams are probably ever going to be on the caliber to be a national champion, but I root for them.
I was a big Duke guy, so yeah, I love watching them play. It was weird. But yeah, I secretly root for them. I don't have any fucking interest at all, but...
Yep. Yeah, same. And every once in a while, they get a player that potentially might do something in football or at least has the hype to do it and then never works out. And then college basketball, something we both love. North Carolina State beat Houston 54-52 in 1983. I think that was it that Jimmy V?
Yeah, that was him.
Yep. So yeah, that was a heck of a That was the old Jimmy V. They had Elvin Battle and a couple of other pretty decent people, and not a lot of names that I overly know, but
those are the big
I'll never
two.
forget Jimmy V. What an epic.
I mean, the V Foundation is still going on, trying to beat cancer. I mean, it just blows me away how much money they throw at it, and it's just they still can't figure it out. It's depressing.
I don't get it. And it's, fuck cancer. Don't hear me say the F word a lot, but that one's well deserved. And there was golf, there was more golf, and there was other golf, and there were some champions. To be honest, I don't know. I'm not overly into it, so we're gonna skip that one. But one thing that I honestly love looking into is let's go ahead and talk about the prices in 1983. It's always cool to see the difference of the prices from 1983 to whatever year it is now or whenever you're listening. And a lot of people have been commenting and be like, oh, wouldn't that be nice? And then, they have your sense. So let us know what you think about the prices and stuff in 1983. Price of milk per gallon was $1.35. Bread, 84 cents. Eggs, 86 cents. Ground beef was about $1.29 a pound. That'd be nice. Coffee, $2.30 a pound, which that seems pretty. I love some coffee, but I would love to pay $2.30 for a pound of coffee. Gas, $1.25. Never going to see that again, unfortunately. The price of a new car on average was about $8,577. The price of a used car was about $5,000.
Jesus.
Median home price was about $70,000, and monthly rent was about $335. So I don't know the price of rent, obviously, but median home price, 70 grand. That's in a lot of areas. You got to think this isn't just, where Burley potentially is in Houston or, a major city or whatever.
It's just outside DC.
Yep. The average price of a personal computer was about $2,500, and IBM was pretty much around.
This name.
Big name. And this was before the internet breakout and stuff. Color TV, a 19-inch CRT TV was about $375.
Magic.
VCR, $400. This is something that we're going to get into a little bit more is movies, and the price of a movie ticket was about $3.15, and a vinyl or a cassette was about $8, which that would be really nice. But you can find some from 1983 for that price and lower now. But I mean, a new vinyl that you probably can go to Walmart or places that rhyme with Arget. Target, they're what, $25, $30 for some of them.
There's some small shops that are growing. I mean, I'm happy the Renaissance has come back in the future. So there's some small shops that sell just vinyl and CDs, stuff like that. But it's like $20 to $30. But also the rarity and capitalism, supply and demand. If you have something that's big in demand, it's gonna be like upwards of $50 to $100 easy.
I've paid over $100 for one album because it was just a limited edition press. It was something I needed for my discography for Teenage Bottle Rockets. And hey, every once in a while, I don't really even play it. It just looks pretty in the collection in a secret little spot. But that's pretty cool. That's the prices of things in 1983. We talked about movie tickets. Let's talk about movies.
Ooh. So you missed a few. Clothing. Jeans cost $20.
You got some more? Let's go. $20 for a pair of jeans. Where are they now? I haven't bought a new pair of jeans in a hot minute.
So I buy my stuff from Duluth because they're more heavy duty and they're more flexible. And the Wrangler or other stuff like that it's not my look.
Yeah.
It could go between on sale between $50 and $60.
Yeah.
I like a good work pants outside. So a woman's dress is $35. Can't even
not getting that these days.
No. College tuition was in-state was $1,031.
Oh.
College tuition for private per year was $5,385.
Man, that'd be nice.
It's expensive, man. But
out of state, you're probably $100,000 a year, if not more.
Exactly nowadays.
For a piece of paper.
A newspaper costs 25 cents.
That would be nice.
I don't even know how much it costs nowadays. I think my dad gets the Washington Post.
Does he?
Yeah, because he prefers to read it by paper. So.
Yep. Yeah, the father-in-law, he loves the newspaper still. If he happens to be at a store and something, he'll always grab one, just kind of read through it, and Then it turns into when I see them, he'll be like, "Hey, you want this for to start a fire?"
And
Like,
that's
sure.
what I do. When I go to Walmart, I'll read it first, but I grab like 10, 20 copies, and I'm like, I'll read it, and I'm like, okay, I don't feel so bad. Do the crossword puzzle. All right, it's Kindle now for me.
Yep. It works because a lot of things, you know what I mean? If you want to start a fire, the newspaper still burns pretty good. But a lot of the new stuff, like if you want a couple of pieces of cardboard and some other stuff, it doesn't burn right. I don't know what's going on with it. That's maybe a different topic and a different conversation, but it doesn't burn nearly as good as a 1983 newspaper, which is probably worth some money if you find certain news articles and magazines from 83.
The lake house I was just down at, he had the newspaper on the Washington Post, the Redskins being the Dolphins. He has it like framed down by his pool area, or like playing billiards pool. And I look at him, just like, that's gonna come back to me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Comes back around.
Always does.
So damn. So movies. So that year was a amazing year in movies. I mean, just so much wide range of different things that came out, from like sci-fi, action, comedy. I mean, A Christmas Story came out that year. I mean,
wow.
That means every year on TBS they have 24/7. Just they keep playing it every year.
Every year.
It still draws numbers. I mean, they even made a remake to it. I didn't watch it, but I mean, the original. You have to keep the magic toward the Christmas Story. So those are my, it's always something new, or it's always like, it's surreal to me. Like I'm watching it through my kids' eyes when they watch these movies for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always special, and it's something else.
Yeah, that's a legendary one.
Yeah,
1983. Huh.
Yeah,
I'll have to remember that for a trivia night.
Mm-hmm. But that year, Robert Duvall won Best Actor for Tender Mercies. I actually haven't seen that movie. The big movie that year.
You seen it or you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Let's pull up the old IMDb.
But I'm
Guarantee
glad
there's a cowboy hat.
Yeah, but he's an amazing actor, though. So I'm happy he finally got Best Actor for it.
Yep.
Yep.
Look at all those cowboys hats. A broken down middle-aged country singer gets a new wife, reaches out to his long-lost daughter, and tries to put his troubled life back together. I mean, that's got to be relatable.
Yeah, he's so young.
Wow. That's crazy.
But yeah, the movie that stole the Oscars that year was Terms of Endearment.
Okay.
Shirley MacLaine. She won Best Actress for that. I mean, Jack Nicklaus won Best Supporting Actor for that. That was, it won Best Picture that year. It was directed by James L. Brooks. I mean, he's the creator of The Simpsons. He also did Broadcast News, and he did As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson. But I mean, that was a hell of a cast. You had Jack Nicholson, you had Shirley MacLaine, you had Danny DeVito in there, Jeff Daniels, and John Lithgow, and Deborah Winger. It's a hell of a cast. Hell of a movie.
A lot of people that did a lot of big things.
Heck yeah. They're younger.
In 83, I mean, that's still prime, like we talked about with the price of a VCR. That's still prime. Buy a movie, rent a movie. You know what I mean? Like go to a theater as something to do. Go and buy and own the copy of the VHS. Like that's still prime movie stuff. Before things evolved or shifted. I guess you can look at it either way.
Yeah, it's with physical media nowadays, or in the future, Blu-rays and 4K comes out, and you can see the less and less of it. Like Best Buy stopped selling it. You can still see it at Walmart and Target. So it's just it's there, but it's growing down. You have to go to Amazon to fucking buy that mess.
Yeah, I know. Recently, I got talking to somebody about the Netflix takeover. You know what I mean? When they first started, sending you movies and stuff like that. And a good friend of mine, owned a movie store, and then killed all of the little movie stores. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, people love Netflix. They love to Netflix and chill and whatever it is. But man, there's still one place near me. It's a family owned little thing where it's the only place that I know of within a long range of things where you can still go and rent a movie. Yeah. You can still rent video games, even, if you want to do that, stuff like that. You can go and buy them. You can go and return, swap, and trade. Essentially, a GameStop, but a very small stuff in a very small area, which is pretty cool. I go in there every once in a while just to see, hey, I need a controller for this, or, what do they have? Do I want to randomly just buy a brand new old school console? No, but yes. And it's cool.
So you said Blockbuster, or I said
Yeah.
Blockbuster. So there's still one open in Bend, Oregon. It's still open. Like you can go
Is
there.
it was it the original one that's still open, or just one,
It's
or the last one?
one of the last ones. I don't want to say the
Gotcha.
original one, but it's like near a resort, so it's well placed, location. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, when people want to go visit the area, they can go. Oh, let's go rent a movie, and like the nostalgia of it is something surreal.
Yep. Oh, you're gonna get the late fees. I wonder if Lifetime
Gotta
those or
rewind
the
that.
like the membership and stuff is still in the system for certain people. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, gotta rewind that.
You know, and like we kind of said, things do circle back, and it's one of those things where now it's cool again to rent movies and the nostalgia. Let me find a VCR. Let me watch this on a DVD. Like things always cycle, and
Yeah.
like I'm assuming you still have quite the collection
Oh yes.
of stuff like that. And I know a guy that I used to work with that he had a crazy DVD collection. He was trying to move it because he's like, even if I can get a little bit of money from it, I mean, just he went through and was cataloging it stuff just so if people wanted to buy one-offs or the whole thing, and it was nuts.
It's insane. Yeah, because
Yep.
all my stuff's in alphabetical order, and like I have it memorized almost, but like I'll never get the money back for it, so I'll just keep it for my retire. I can watch a movie a day or something. But
Yep. Unless like you said, unless one day somebody's like, "Wow, you have that crazy collection. Here's X amount of money." I mean, no, what you were buying it from back in the day to now, and it's like
it's for my son.
cool to collect. I mean, obviously, look, I collect there. You can see over here. I got a little bit of some VHS ones. They're not probably worth a lot, nor would I trade them. But I have them in the studio. I need to figure out a way to shift them down so it looks cool. Maybe I'll swap them
each week. Do a reorg each week.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah,
seems like a job for one of the kids.
But speaking of like the tube TVs, like at the lake house this past weekend, my best friend now we always play Super Mario 3.
Nice.
And so we have an old TV and old tube shit, and it's just like we just hit it. Like so we try the new TV, then I have our kids watch, and like you can tell it lags, and it's like, oh, this isn't gonna work. So we hold down an old TV, and it's like we're just kicking butt. Beat Bowser at the end. My kids are all cheering. It's something.
It's awesome. That is pretty cool. And speaking of 1983, while we're here, and we'll jump back into movies, you mentioned Mario Bros. That was 1983, right?
Yeah.
On NES. Dragon's Lair was one of the top video games of 1983, which was an arcade game.
Yeah.
You had Spy Hunter, which was also an arcade game, which was the vehicle combat game where you actually drove a car equipped with various weapons and shot things out of the way. Tapper was another one that was an arcade game. Star Wars, the arcade game, came out in 83. Yeah. Mappy, I don't know. I didn't play that one, but it was players controlled a police mouse named Mappy, and you navigated through levels to retrieve stolen goods from cats. Apparently that was a big thing in 83. An Olympic-themed sports game where people competed and stuff. Track and field, that came out in 83. Pole Position, which was awesome, which is an arcade game as well. And Miss Pac-Man, an arcade version was released, I believe, in Japan.
Nice.
The sequel of Pac-Man. So those are a couple of games in 83.
Yeah, but speaking of Star Wars, the top 10 grossing movies, I looked up just North America alone.
Yep.
America, baby. But number one was...
Yeah. America, baby. USA. I mean, we're watching the Olympics, so
I know, right?
Super like
hot air balloon. I'm so excited to watch that.
It's weird because we got talking about that again. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check out the Body Wrong podcast last week. Check it out anyways. We talked about hot air balloons and this and that, and the next thing you know, I don't get on my personal stuff much, especially like Facebook. The first thing I popped in, a couple of my buddies went to a hot air balloon festival near us, and I'm like, hot air balloons are taking over my life, and I don't know if I like it or not.
Making a comeback.
Yeah.
But I'll start at number 10 was Risky Business. And Tom Cruise.
Oh, what a movie that was.
I know. His famous scene dancing in his underwear.
My favorite thing of that, not only the movie, obviously pretty good, but was watching all the people that do the scene and then just flop on the floor or run into a wall or whatever.
It
holds up, but this, like, I don't know, this style, I mean, obviously it's a little bit different, but the style of, the cover and stuff, just simple, but cool. You know what I mean? Like now it's another trend where you got the cartoonish looks going, you know what I mean? You got that and just, what a good movie.
Number 9, you have Mr. Mom. I haven't seen that one, but
Mr. Mom. Let's pull that up. So who did that have in it? Michael Keaton?
See that Michael Keaton has a weird place for me. Like I love him in Batman and then Beetlejuice, but there's a time like Multiplicity. Is that the one? Yeah, Multiplicity. Like there's
Yeah.
a range where
I like Pizza Steve.
you can see, she touched my wiener, Steve. But no, there's a weird thing. I could not see him past like Batman or like Beetlejuice. It wasn't until like the other guys I saw him there as the the police captain. I'm like, what the heck? These other movies?
Yep. Yeah, he was recently laid off, and the husband switches roles with his wife. She returns to the workforce, and he becomes a stay-at-home dad, and he has to take care of 3 young children, a job he has no clue how to do. And you're thinking now, I think of anything, you're thinking, I mean, come on, stay-at-home dads are, a thing, women in the workforce and stuff. But when you're thinking 1980, it was different. It was different. There was a lot more stay-at-home moms. There was a lot more like, moms are, going to potentially babysit and stuff like that. And having a dad do that role, I think was different, especially in that times, and it showed off being the top 10 movie of all time.
Damn, what a cast! Christopher Lloyd and Jeffrey Tambor.
Pretty wild, right? Mr. Mom.
Number 8, Staying Alive. Another one I haven't seen before.
I know the first thing that pops in my mind was Staying Alive is the songs.
The Bee Gees, yeah.
Yeah, that had Travolta in it.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think I don't know. I thought maybe just by the artwork that I saw it, but Staying Alive. Man, that is a young John Travolta looking like Rambo.
Heck yeah.
Trying to look like Rambo. What is the concept of this movie? 5 years later, Tony Manero, Saturday Night Fever is still burning. Now he's strutting towards his biggest challenge yet, succeeding as a dancer on the Broadway stage. Can confirm, haven't seen it. It's funny because, we obviously it's released 1983, one of the top movies. Then, of course, you can be on IMDb, 4.8 out of 10 out of 18,000 reviews. So,
it's also
wasn't a big hit.
Saturday Night Fever 2.
Yep.
Because, Saturday Night was a huge hit for him.
Oh, yeah. It does seem like a weird little, I guess, not runoff, but a playoff to try to, maybe make some more money or something off it.
Cash grab.
Seems very similar, like, I did all this dancing. It did really well. Let me try it again.
He's still doing it.
Still doing it.
Number 7, we got Sudden Impact.
Hell of a movie.
Yeah. Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry is at it again.
God, it's so good.
Yep.
The movie just the trilogies back in the day was so different, and like he just an amazing actor going from westerns to action, just going with the times. It's just phenomenal to watch.
Yep.
And then number 6,
Burley's gonna miss number 6.
Octopussy.
He'd be all over this.
Jumping on like a sumo
Probably
wrestler.
hadn't seen it, but this what was it? It was a fake egg recovered from the body of a fellow agent leads James Bond to uncover a jewel smuggling operation led by the mysterious Octopussy, a plot to blow up a NATO airbase.
That's
Sir. Did you see this one?
Yeah, of course. I'm trying. It's not Roger Moore. It's Sir.
Roger Moore was in it.
Oh, okay, I was trying to debate.
Roger Moore. Yep, Roger Moore was James Bond. You had Maud, or however you would say it, Adams, as Octopussy. Here, I'll bring it up here. There was some decent names in there. I obviously not a shocker here. I had not seen this, but here's the cast. So some big names, some names that you probably would recognize more than me. But yeah, like I said, I have not seen.
I was thinking Sean Connery, but I was like, no, it's not him. It's Roger Moore. So I couldn't remember his name.
Get that friggin' little. I like how
it's a banger,
Albert
dude.
R. Broccoli presents Roger Moore as Ian Fleming's James Bond 007 in Octo. It's funny how those old ones, it's like this presented by this, but then by this, because this one did this and this one.
Yeah, it's a banger. All those movies are cheesy, but they're really good though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the number 5, we got WarGames. Classic movie, the hacker, trying to board and all of a sudden hacks one of the best, defense systems, and like playing a game like actually it's a what's it called? It's a computer program like simulation where they're
Yep.
about to like fire nukes and like he's like the game to try to beat it.
Is it a game or is it real?
Exactly.
Way ahead of its time, honestly. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then didn't they remade it in the, like mid 2010, or at least there was something with that. And was it a remake or was it just the same name?
I think it was just
I
a
wonder.
remake. I think it was Eagle Eye, was it?
Well, there's another WarGames in 2010. Let me see what that one was about. But that had what's his name, Matthew Broderick in it. The original 1983 one.
1983.
Yeah, there was WarGames: The Dead Code in 2008. There was WarGames 2018. WarGames in 2010.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Okay, it must be something different because it says 7 friends travel to the countryside to play war in the woods. They stumble upon 3 paranoid and sadistic ex-soldiers. Not the same one.
Nope.
They put a space in their name. The
course.
original WarGames did not.
Bastards.
Essentially, but yeah, that's a banger of a movie for '83. Like I said, way ahead of its time.
Yeah, the next up, number 4, we have Trading Spaces, the great comedy with blanking Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
I almost said Charlie Murphy, but yeah.
Snobbish investor and a wily street con artist find their positions reversed as part of a bet by a couple of millionaires. So these millionaires are like, all right, I bet you guys can't swap roles.
Exactly.
And they traded places.
Just a perfect time. Like, the 80s was great. Like, it was dealing with the social class and like economic issues with, just the perfect humor between those two. I mean, Dan Aykroyd, just amazing. Yeah, I mean, he started his own podcast. So it was like just talking about like movies like Ghostbusters and like all the different properties he's been in. The Blues Brothers. I mean, just amazing what he's done.
Can you think of a movie that he was in that sucked? Like, does something pop in your head and be like, Dan Aykroyd movie sucks? Like, nothing comes to my brain.
What'd you think of the Blue Brothers remake? Was it 2010?
I didn't see it.
That's
Blues
debatable.
Brothers, they were a thing. Like, I'm not rewatching that.
Yeah. But there's a remake because, John Belushi was dead. So you have John Goodman, coming in. Like, they're doing their thing. But it's there's that magic is missing, but it's still good. It's still a good movie.
Yep.
But yeah, so then you have Flashdance, the great soundtrack to that movie as well. I mean, what a feeling. I still jam out to that. Like, it gets me pumped before I go work out. It's so stupid.
Yeah. No, hey, that was a banger.
Yeah.
That did pretty well at the box office. Opening weekend, U.S. and Canada, $4 million in 1983. Grossed $92.9 million.
What a time.
Wow.
But yeah, number 2, as we discussed earlier, Terms of Endearment. And then number 1, Return of the Jedi. Just classic Star Wars story. Vader and Luke Skywalker, Carrie Fisher in her iconic dress, being enslaved to Boba Fett. It was just an iconic movie. It still holds up. I can't wait for my kids to finally watch the whole original trilogy and just go from there. Skip the newer stuff, but
that's a good one. That's a good one. Still 8.3 on the IMDb. They love it.
But just going quick, just to finish it out, other movies like Videodrome, The Dead Zone, Superman 3, Scarface came out that year. You have Twilight Zone, the movie, my personal favorite. I love the old school Twilight Zone episodes.
That's a good one.
You have Cujo.
Real good one.
Poor Burley, Sleepaway Camp. He missed out on that one. Cheech and Chong, Still Smoking. And The Outsiders. I mean, it was a fucking good year for movies.
Yep. And I don't know if you said it, but I'm just looking at your notes right now. Jaws 3D. Not sure about that one.
They tried.
They did try, but should they have tried?
It's a cash grab.
It was a cash grab. You know what I mean? But like, were they trying to be revolutionary and it just didn't work out? Like,
didn't work.
For anybody that doesn't know, it's a giant 35-foot shark becomes trapped in a SeaWorld theme park. And it's up to the Sons of Police Chief Brody to rescue everyone. So they try to play on the original one. They bring in some people or, ties to it. But I mean, to be honest with you, though, the concept, kind of funny. Jaws gets stuck in SeaWorld. When was Free Willy? That was after, right?
Yeah, that was after.
So they wouldn't have played off that was a decade later. But you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if they, to play off the whole SeaWorld thing, and everybody, millions and millions of people go to SeaWorld, and you have the protests. They're like, we're not trying to get into that, but like the concept, kind of cool, kind of interesting.
It's ahead of its time.
The third dimension is terror. But yeah, I mean, I didn't see it. Did you?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. It can't be a spoiler. How did they, make it out that he got stuck in SeaWorld?
Poor bad writing. I'll leave it there.
I mean, the potential could have been like a good thing for him to, like, I'm just like an iconic shark, or even just getting a great weight. But I mean, Jaws is Jaws. How the hell does he get trapped in SeaWorld?
Poor Bruce.
Right?
Just bad writing.
Man. Terrible.
It was good concepts, but bad writing type of things.
Mm-hmm. Is it the worst Jaws movie of all?
Oh, yes.
Has to be, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. IMDb, 50,000 people went out of their way to make sure that they rated it, and it's a 3.7. Which, hey, rightfully so. But if you're a huge fan of Jaws 3D, please let us know in the comments why you love Jaws 3D and try to convince us. Good luck. Good luck. Couple of interesting things. I love to do the random segment kind of this. Just, here's some interesting things that happened in 1983 that were, whether they were game changers or, just more relatable things that not only me and Goot are going to, and Burley, obviously, but hopefully you, the listeners and viewers. Apple introduced the Lisa computer. It was the first personal computer with a graphical user interface, or known as a GUI, on January 19th. If you're a nerd, you appreciate this. If you're not, we'll just keep moving on, because to be honest, I'm not a huge Apple guy, but it was a pretty big deal back in the day. I never owned one of these.
Same.
I have not owned, the only Apple products that I've ever owned was, I think, 1 or 2 iPhones before they put, this is a spoiler, Apple's going to put a bunch of YouTube music on your phone, and for some reason I still talk about it and it pisses me off. And iPads. The family loves them. I don't know why. They watch movies. They play some games on them. I've tried to say, hey, maybe we can go with, a Google tablet or something like that. But nope, they're stuck in the Apple world for now. But we're gonna get them off of there. But this is probably a sad one for an older generation. With the year of the final episode of MASH.
Yeah.
Aired February 28th, becoming the most watched television episode in U.S. history. That's how iconic this was. I do wish Burley was on the show, because I know he loves Cabbage Patch Kids, and that's the year that they were released, and it was a craze, which making it one of, if not the hottest toy of the year. Obviously, I didn't grow up with sisters or whatever, and we never had a Cabbage Patch doll in the house.
My mom still has them from my sister. She's kept it, so it has some value there. Whenever I come through, because my sisters don't have any kids, so if I wanted to save them just for a rainy day fund, if they're worth something later. But yeah, crazy.
It was never a thing in my house, but it was a thing. Spoiler alert: Beanie Babies become big.
Yeah. Oh yeah, still
that was
are.
a thing. There's a somewhat local guy to me that had just this crazy Beanie Baby collection. Sold a bunch of them off for millions and millions of dollars, and then it opened up some hardware stores and like a whole bunch of things. Like, he became a millionaire from Beanie Babies. Like, it just shows you some collections, you get the right thing, lucrative. But I also know a lot of people that have spent a lot of money on some things that they thought were going to be worth some money that's not worth shit.
Yes, 100%.
Maybe. We already talked about Mario Brothers was released for Nintendo. Microsoft Word launched. Microsoft released the first version of Microsoft Word for MS-DOS computers. Man, those goddamn... don't get me started on Microsoft. Do they have some things that a lot of people use, but does it suck that they continually push new versions of Office that people continually buy, and it's the same thing, they just move buttons and looks around? But hey, makes the business world go round, I suppose. Sally Ride became the first American woman in space in 1983. She was on the Space Shuttle Challenger.
The one that didn't blow up.
The one that didn't. Speaking of some nerd stuff, DNS was established, which is the domain name system. So if you own a domain name, potentially like beardlawstudio.com, you could check it out. That was established then. Motorola Dynatac 8000X was released. And you're going, what the hell is that? It was the first commercially available mobile phone. It weighed 2 pounds, Goot. There's some people. Richard Simmons, rest in peace. He should have got a commercial and just got some women and just did some workouts with the Motorola Dynatac 8000X. There was a plague in 1983. There was a major outbreak that occurred in India, which caused a widespread concern and efforts to control the disease. I didn't know about it. We talked about Brink. Was it last year in the robbery? In the last episode in 1950, what did we cover? 1950? There was another Brinks Matt. Oh, yeah. 1950, there was a big robbery in one of the Brinks one we talked about. There was also, in 1983, Brinks Mat robbery. It was the largest gold heist in British history, which occurred on November 26th. It was 26 million pounds worth of gold, diamonds, and cash were stolen.
Wow. I just pictured the movie like Big Heist with Jason Statham.
Yeah, 1950, I think, we talked about it last week. There was 11 people, I think, involved. Wow. And they stole a bunch of money. And it was one of the things, they got caught. I don't know how they did it, but they ended up getting caught. In 1983, the compact disc was introduced to the U.S. The first CDs and CD players were released in the U.S. in 1983, revolutionizing the music industry. And if that's not a segue, I don't know what is. Music, 1983. Sorry, Burley, you're not here. He's our music guy, loves himself some music. So me and Goot, we're going to try to do it some justice. There was a lot of good stuff. So
a lot of bangers.
Right before the show started, did we potentially do some research? I went to the internet and I said, let's just give me 20 of the best moments in music history from 1983. And, of course, the first kind of two big things that happened in 1983 is going to be Michael Jackson, Thriller, an iconic album. I know I own it on vinyl. I've listened to it a lot. It dominated the chart, broke records, and became, again, probably, I didn't look this up. I probably should. But this says the best-selling album of all time, which I see Googling Goot over there. While we're looking up that, potentially, if not the best, one of the top selling albums of all time, Michael Jackson did his Billie Jean performance on TV on the special Motown 25 yesterday and know what he did, Goot? He did the moonwalk.
Nice.
1983.
Changed everyone's lives.
You aren't kidding. Have you ever tried to moonwalk?
No, I can't do that.
Did you ever try, though?
No.
Ever? Never in your life have you tried to moonwalk? Holy shit.
I didn't give a flying F, but I was like, it's not for me. It's like 70 million copies.
Wow.
I mean, to this day, it's still one of the best-selling albums ever. So, I mean, compared to the list with Celine Dion, Beatles, Pink Floyd, Madonna, Whitney Houston. I mean, just
So this is a list. I don't know. I said it was last updated. This is iSpyTunes.com. It says Thriller, Michael Jackson, 72 million estimated sales, number one, still.
Yeah.
Then it was like AC/DC, Eagles, like you said, Whitney Houston, Pink Floyd, Meatloaf, Eagles. Shania Twain. Didn't know that was going to be number 8. Fleetwood Mac, Rumors, and the Bee Gees, Saturday Night Fever.
The hell
and our
of
friends
year.
at Wikipedia. Yeah, Wikipedia has that as Thriller as well, Back in Black. Whitney Houston making a appearance here. A lot of good ones. A lot of people, I think, these that are going, like we talked about, those small business record things, looking for a lot of these, and because of it, you get an original release of these. It's going to be worth some money. Interesting. Police, they released their first studio album in 83. Hits like Every Breath You Take. Everybody knows that one. Do you listen to that to get pumped up to the gym?
No, it still makes me laugh. It plays well, in the Office TV show. They play that a lot. So a lot of Police songs from there.
Yep. What else was there? Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, 1983 Madonna debut album. She actually released her first title debut album, which had Holiday and Lucky Star. I wasn't a huge Madonna fan.
Same here.
I mean, nothing other than it just wasn't my jam. I was growing up listening to some much different music.
You got Burning Down the House with Talking Heads.
Love that one.
Yeah.
Still gets played randomly. Burning down the house. Speaking of U2, those sons of bitches, War was released. Their third studio album wasn't on an Apple product for free. Pushed out there, but that was Sunday Bloody Sunday and New Year's Day. Didn't really get into them, even before it. Any of my... I don't hate them. Just don't love them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, exactly. I wasn't like, oh, U2.
Yeah.
But there were some jams that, come on, I'm going to sing. Probably the lyrics wrong, but
only in the car. Because I still listen to the radio in the car. So, yeah, if I hear it on a random station, I'm like, oh, okay, that's a... Nod my head to it. Yep. Okay, it's over. Change channel.
David Bowie released Let's Dance. Reinvented himself with that album. Had China Girl and Modern Love. Sure, Burley would have made a joke in there. So
Love is a battlefield.
Burley. Yep. Oh, yeah. Culture Club's Karma Chameleon.
Oof.
Topped the charts. That still gets played in this house. That'll still get you going. What else was there? Uptown Girl.
Long.
Oh, that was there. 83.
Lionel Richie.
Oh, Lionel Richie. Rio, Duran Duran. That was a big hit. Def Leppard, Pyromania. That came out third studio album. Had Photograph and Rock of Ages. Uptown Girl. That still gets played at a lot of bars, and that still gets played around by Billy Joel. He was an animal. Prince, 1999 album or title track. That was epic. What do you think of all of the songs that came out, albums and everything? Which one do you think would have been the one that Burley did a deep dive into?
Probably Michael Jackson. If it wasn't Michael Jackson, probably AC/DC or maybe ZZ Top.
I thought maybe Metallica, Kill 'Em All.
Okay.
I think he's a Metallica guy. I'm not a huge Metallica guy, but that was a pretty goddamn good one. I don't know. Maybe that was that. What was another good one? Oh, Africa by Toto. That came out in 83. That still comes down. Weezer, of course, gets a lot of
I don't bless the
love
rains.
for their remake on it.
I don't bless those rains because it causes hurricanes.
You are kidding. Yeah, Houston's not loving those rains in Africa either.
No.
Which is kind of interesting because Here Comes the Rain Again was another hit.
Yeah.
Of 1983. Yeah, I mean, and obviously we just mentioned Metallica All Night Long. Those are pretty much the 20 that I had. You had a couple more, right?
Just a one-hit wonder, Cruel Summers. I mean, that still hits.
Oh, yeah.
You have Islands in the Stream by Dolly Parton. I love me some Dolly Parton.
Yeah, except for she kind of popularized the 9 to 5. Still kind of pissed about that. Nobody wants to work 9 to 5, Dolly. Why couldn't you make 10 to 2? Yeah. That'd be the perfect amount of work for everybody.
7 to 3.
7 to 3, something. 9 to 5. Instead, guys like us, we work at least 7 to 5 now.
Yeah.
Really one-upped you there, Dolly.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You mentioned David Bowie earlier. I mean, he had China Girl as well. And that was one of his one-hits that came off that album. But yeah, we pretty much hit them all. I mean, Def Leppard, Photograph. So, but everyone, like the radio stations, we play the 80s and most 80s songs. I mean, it's one of them there.
Let's do this. I just pulled up the Wikipedia. Let's do the top 10 Billboard charts year-end singles of 1983.
Okay.
Coming in at number 10, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This.
Do you friends?
Then we have number 9, Maniac. He's a maniac. Pretty good one. Number 8, Baby Come to Me by Patty Austin and James Ingram. Burley, I know you're going to read this. You're going to listen to this, and you're going to say, why didn't I say this? I should have said this joke. Just picture yourself saying something dirty in Burley's voice.
We need a video.
I don't know that song to be. I can't think of that song.
I don't know the song either. If I hear it, maybe I'll recognize it. But yeah, I just picture Burley just screaming at the radio right now.
Yeah, this is it. I'm singing it. The rest of them, I think we should know. Man Eater by Hall & Oates. Jam one. Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler. Beat It by Michael Jackson. A lot of sexual innuendos, or whatever the right word is, in the top 10 in 1983. Number 4, Down Under by Men at Work.
Still, I love that song.
That's a good one. Flashdance, What a Feeling.
Yep.
Irene Cara, you know that one. Billie Jean, Michael Jackson, might have heard of that. And Every Breath You Take by the Police was the number one top song ending 1983. Wowza. I mean, even if the chart that they have, again, this is on Wikipedia, they have the top 100.
I know.
I mean, then you jump down, you got Mr. Roboto by Styx, Mickey. Hey, Mickey, you're so fine. The Safety Dance, Men Without Hats. Love that one.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we mentioned 1999 already. Allentown, Billy Joel. Stand Back, Stevie Nicks.
Oof.
Always Something There to Remind Me by The Naked Eyes. Always something there to remind me. I mean, just so much good stuff. Men at Work again with Overkill. I mean, Gloria by Laura Branigan. That's still a good one.
I like Self Control. That's my favorite song by her.
Yeah, I mean, All Right by Criss Cross. No, I'm just kidding. Christopher Cross. I always thought that was hilarious. I love Criss Cross wearing the pants backwards. You know what I mean? Chris with K and Cross. Rest in peace to one of them. But then you always had Christopher Cross. You know what I mean? Which, you know, obviously came out way before Criss Cross was even born. So every time I see Christopher Cross, I always have to try to make a joke about Criss Cross.
Did we mention Journey?
I don't think we had anything from Journey.
Because they had Faithful and Separate Worlds.
Oh.
That was 1983, yeah.
Wow. Man, there's so much good stuff. I mean, just so much stuff. Photograph, we already talked about. Frank Stallone, though. Can we give a shout out to Frank Stallone? Had Far From Over, top 100 hit in 1983.
He was in the movie with Mr. Mom. He was with Michael Keaton. I saw his name in the IMDb.
Mm-hmm. Younger brother, Sylvester Stallone. With some proud parents. I actually have a couple of Frank Stallone vinyl album records. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. 1983. I think we're about ready to travel back. You got anything else you want to end it with?
I'm all good.
All right.
Let's get out of here.
Let's jump back. Maybe not better times, but we're heading back. Here we go. Let's see if I think it should warm up. It's working. Goodbye, 83. Whew. Quick little trip back to 2024. Oh, all right. Let's do the thing. We're going to say our goodbyes because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to go back and watch me some Olympics. Big fan of the Summer Olympics. In between the recordings today, I went and watched the finals of the team archery, which was pretty cool. South Korea ended up having to go to, I think, with their overtime or whatever. It was pretty cool. So hopefully you guys enjoyed your town. That was aired yesterday in the Beard Law studio. Today, Tuesday, go eat some tacos. Triple T Thursday. Got to stay out of my fridge. Spoiler alert, Euban's back.
Woo-hoo!
We talk about some funny things, some good things, some serious things, but it's a pretty good episode. And then Friday, got the Body Wrong podcast. Make sure you guys check that out. Do I know what it's about? Nope, haven't recorded yet, but it's going to be good.
It's always
We're
good.
We're going to have hopefully Burley and Euban. They say things come in threes, Goot, and I'm a little bit worried because there's only two of us that were pretty beat up, so I want you to stay safe out there.
I got
Rob,
stay
stay safe out there. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to stretch out really good and go play some pickleball, and hopefully it's not me. That's the third. I don't want it to be anything. I don't want it to be any of us.
So
for
all my Deadpool fans,
make sure when's do you know when that episode that you're going to record today is going to air?
Tomorrow or Monday.
Okay, so it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys go check that out. It's going to be over at the Barrel Age Flicks. I'm assuming YouTube.
Yep.
Audio everywhere. Make sure you guys check that out. You're going to get a very animated Goot. We did also talk about that on the Stay Out of My Fridge. So again, go check it out. I'm excited to see how it goes today. And I'm sure I'll hear about it before it comes out, but it's going to be a good one. I know the last time you and the boys got into it, it was very, very well received. So I'm excited for this one. So enjoy it, brother. Get yourself primed up. A couple hours from now, you're going to be doing the thing. Check it out, Barrel Age Flicks. Check out Copper John's Beard. Go use code BEARDLAWS. At the day of this, that it comes out, Tuesday, It is the 30th. You only have today and tomorrow to save 35% on Copper John's products. 35%. We're losing our money on this one, but we want to hook you guys up. So if you're looking for some stuff, Copper John's code BEARDLAWS for 2 more days saves you 35%. If you guys like pretzels, go check out Milwaukee Pretzels. And again, we can't thank you enough. Goot, you're the man. Burley, feel better. We'll be back next week. That was 1983. And again, shout out to Robert. Robert Wyatt 83, I think is what his Instagram is. I can't remember much, let alone that, but make sure you check it out. Thank you for taking some time while you were at the laundromat. Just got done a run or whatever. He's an animal. Go follow him everywhere on social. So, Goot, appreciate you, brother. Have a good rest of your week.
You as well.
We'll be back next week for another time traveling trio, even though it's been a duo the last 2 weeks. But the time traveling turbulence was real this week. We're out of here. See you next week.
Later.
From the streets to the block, jazzy beats rhyme so tight. We'll make your head nod. Triple T crew taking over the game. Y'all better applaud. Step into the cypher, feel the vibe. We got the style. Representing hip hop, going the extra mile. From east coast to west, we break it down the walls. Triple T Podcast, we here to answer the call. Triple T in the house, the call.